if you want to just take it to the channel and we'll do a long pro of the channel, get some elevations.
So we're going upstream.
You dream about being able to be part of projects like this.
Sun Creek was flowing right through here.
Not anymore. Today its water is sent elsewhere. The creek is a blocked artery.
Fish have been lost from the landscape for over 100 years.
This is the story of how a backhoe in a cattle pasture may change a region nearly 3 times the size of Connecticut.
Right here. That'll do. Come here, Cinco. Come on.
I think it'll be an unbelievable achievement. When see a bull trout come up that stream will be exciting. There's times that I'll ride across this ranch and wonder what it's going to look like. Wonder what Sun Creek will eventually end up.
Sun Creek emerges in Crater Lake National Park on the flanks of an ancient volcano, sacred to the Klamath tribes, my people. We call it Jiwas. This is the deepest lake in the United States.
Historically, Sun Creek ran from the slopes of Crater Lake down to the Wood River.
In the late 19th century, the creek was harnessed as a water source for ranch land and disconnected from the Wood River. The tail of the creek, its last few miles dried up, disappeared, isolating the stream and its fish from the other waterways of the Klamath Basin.
We'll have the mouth coming out just about there.
Our mission is to excavate the historic Sun Creek channel, reactivating it, and essentially bringing it back to life, filling it with aquatic life from the park and from the Wood River so that it's a thoroughfare for fish. We're looking for clues to where Sun Creek used to be. What these thick, dense sedges show you is the location of the historic channel. The water table here is just a little bit higher. The surface elevation is just a little bit lower.
We really enjoy partnering with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They provide additional technical expertise to a lot of our projects and background that we don't have as a smaller nonprofit. And they also care about working on private lands in the same way that we do.
Straight.
Looks good. We come out here with a GPS to mark where the channel is going to be. We often have to come back and put those flags out again because the cows like to eat the fluorescent colored flags.
Come onto the ranch property here.
We'll be building a river channel that as a total is about 2.5 miles long. Spectacular. Can't wait to see it. It's going to be really cool.
Just to see creeks and water and green grass, there's just no better way to look at a ranch.
It's great to be able to make some money off of cattle grazing. But if you can own a ranch and you can be on a river and you can enhance the viability of fishing on that river, that might be a scenario where you can have your cake and eat it too.
This is Sun Creek, the spot where we first discovered a remnant population of bull trout nearly 25 years ago.
These stunted fish may not seem worth a second look, but they would grow much larger if only they were free to seek richer feeding grounds in bigger waters. Bull trout are the top predators here, like grizzlies in Yellowstone.
Bull trout are the only native fish to Crater Lake National Park, and Sun Creek is the only stream where they occur today in the park. The thought of reintroducing a migratory fish to fill that ecological role is just a thrilling opportunity.
These animals are symbols of our national heritage. Without them, we lose part of what our nation is.
The Smithsonian Institution guards a mummified specimen of a young bull trout collected from the Klamath in 1876 when they were plentiful. Human encroachment has squeezed them. Bull trout are now a threatened species.
One risk of an isolated population like this is that they're exposed to catastrophic disturbance in the watershed. A wildfire could come through and wipe out the Sun Creek bull trout altogether.
We have the real potential for those fish to recolonize historic habitat and perhaps reunite with other isolated populations throughout the basin. This project is modest geographically and economically, but it's huge in terms of bull trout recovery in the American West.
We start at the downstream end and actually crawl up and swim up the entire stream and count every fish that we see. Here in the headwaters of Sun Creek and the Southern Oregon Cascades, the water is really cold, right around freezing much of the year. And bull trout need cold water to survive. Sun Creek may be one of the last places that bull trout can persist if stream temperatures warm over time. I'm interested in the movement of bull trout in Sun Creek as they recover and as the population expands. One of the ways we measure that movement is by putting individually coded tags in fish and then releasing the fish and detecting them again later.
We're going to see these bull trout from Sun Creek coming down into the Wood River as migratory individuals. That genetically, they're hardwired to do that.
Their DNA, locked in a corner of the Klamath, will soon be set loose, spreading diversity across 15,000 square miles of private and public lands and communities.
We'd be looking at a bull trout that would probably approach 8-10 pounds. And that's really important because a fish that big can produce more eggs, and so they can contribute much more to the population overall.
We have all the big toys out here. Then we have excavators, dump trucks, backhoes. So this gives us a chance to add in all these habitat features that make a waterway into a stream. So this large wood that we're putting into the creek, it provides places for bugs to live, places for fish to hide, really just creating a dynamic environment.
We're planting over 6,000 native plants. We have about 30 different species that we're putting in. All of these plants have been grown and sourced locally, so that increases their opportunity for success in this climate.
A few last swipes of an excavator, and water surges, reclaiming its ancestral path.
If you look at this project as a 2.5-decade orchestrated composition with many fine players, what you're witnessing now is the final crescendo.
Here it is. This is it. Sun Creek. You can hear it, you can feel it, you can see it. It's finally happened.
I think the potential for immediate rejuvenation is just incredible down here. The bounce back we'll see from this ecosystem will be vigorous and quick.
Every person that I've met from every agency, it's become their passion to make this happen. It's far more than a job, and that's why it's going to succeed.
Passion, patience, persistence, and maybe a dash of tenacity.
I think this project is about listening, listening to the landowners and what they want, listening to the trout, what they want.
Come down to my ranch on Sun Creek and see what cooperation can do. I would do it again in a heartbeat.